Okay.
So Tony, what we gonna do here today, man? Show me something. Show me some picture.
So we're gonna do a high taper with the bars over here a little bit dark,
Okay.
and the fade in the back a little bit higher than what
Just
the
like
photo
that.
shows. Yeah.
So in the top, how we gonna start? We're gonna do a new dreads.
Yeah.
So nice. So we like high taper fade, both sides and back. Guys, here's what we're gonna do. Okay. Like he just said, he wants the bar here a little darker. High taper fade here, high taper fade in the back, and at the end I'm gonna do a new dreads using the sponge. I'm gonna show you guys how we use it step by step. Just follow me and you're gonna see the result. Follow me, you can do it even better than me. Let's do it. So guys, what he wants is a high taper fade. How do I start my taper fades in this situation? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my trimmers and everything below trimmers. It's going to be trimmer and shaver. But what angle? First I groom the hair, of course. What angle I'm using my trimmers? If I use my trimmers diagonal forward, which means my C-cup, the line, my outline will be very dark. If I use my trimmers, mark my first graduation line straight, I'm gonna have a half of my C-cup. But now, I'm gonna use my trimmer since he wants a high taper fade. He just wants a bar here, but no C-cup, no outline here, curved. So what I'm gonna do, using my trimmers, high, and diagonal back. And finishing right behind the ears. So now when I mark my line, I'm going to remove the hair, everything 100%. Just rub nice and smooth. Make sure you remove all long hair, which is this one here, because the shaver only cuts zero gap or when you use your trimmers, okay? Shaver. So all my guards now I'm going to work in like a half moon because I want to keep this dark, and half moon right in the center. So there's multiple ways I can fade in hair, I can taper hair. So the first thing I always do is debulk. I want to get the most of hair out of my way, and then so I can see what is under that bulk so I can start working. So now I'm debulking with number 2. And the hair grows backwards, so which means I'm going to go work with my all guards on the opposite direction of the hair natural growth. So not falling at all. So the hair is growing this way. I'm using all my guards this way. Debulk one with number 2. So now I'm going to blend it down, everything down to 0. So that's what I'm going to do. That's the easiest way to do a taper fade. 1.5 open, 1.5 closed. 1.5 closed all the way. So same thing here, but I'm using 1 open. One halfway closed. One closed. half open. Halfway closed. I'm working on with the lever. And half closed. Zero open. Closing my lever. I'm gonna pick with the corners. Just a little for now. Now you can see it's almost done, but I have a dark line here and all over here. I'm going to use a little bit of my number one here, and then I'm going to use and finish the rest with my shears. So now I'm using my shears. I'm going to do some point cutting behind the ears, making sure I'm picking and cutting some density. Point cutting, what means is creating some tension, connecting the hair here. I'm giving a better connection. I'm going to work on his hairline. I'm not gonna go too deep there. Marking straight down around the ears. I use the corners. Now the hair right here where the higher recession is kind of light, so I'm not gonna go too deep. He wants to maintain the bar here very dark. What I'm gonna do, the first thing I do is mark center first. That's your guideline. It's going to be a little lighter there, but I don't want to go all the way far behind. So now I'm gonna do the nape. I'll start debulking with 2 closed. He wants a little bit higher. So back here, I follow the same steps. I don't change sequence or anything from my guards. But now, one thing, okay, if you want to do more like a concave taper, what you're gonna do, you're gonna do like a half moon in here, and you're gonna keep this line darker. If you wanna remove the darkness a little bit of the outline, you place your first guideline square, okay? But now, it's gonna be dark higher. If you wanna dark higher, what I'm gonna do a reverse half moon. The reason why I'm doing this is because it's going to be more balanced with the 2 tape from the sides. So now, as you can see, I did like a reverse half moon. Shavers. Now it's time to blend everything down from 2 down to 0, 1.5 open. One and a half halfway closed. One and a half closed. One open. Always grooming the hair into the guard like this. One open. One halfway closed. One closed. Half open. Halfway closed. I'm closing down my level little by little. So his hair is growing in a different direction. I'm using my clippers, my guard, my blade against the hair, the grain, against the grain. Half closed. Zero open. So zero open. With a zero open, I'm giving the last details here. When you have like less space to work, like tapers, side and back, what we do, you create zero and below, which means at zero, you can start from zero, trim and shaver, or just do like I did, like trimmers and shaver, and then you debulk, and then you start blending down everything from whatever guard you start debulking all the way to zero. Because if you keep creating lines and lines in a small space like this, you're not going to have enough space to use all your guards. Of course, you can do that. It's not wrong. It's going to be a little harder. So I'm using my guard, zero, halfway, my zero halfway closed. So now I'm closing down my lever, almost almost 100% closed. Nice and clean. Now I'm going to use my shears just to give a little bit of connection and a little bit of cleaning whatever is overlapping here. So here there's a line over here, a little dark. I'm using my barbering comb. So now I'm point cutting just to connect this piece. Now you can see, perfect. Now let's do the other side here. I use both sides of the comb when it's convenient. So when the hair is long, I use the regular side, and when the hair is very short, I use the barbering comb side. Or if you have a barbering comb, you can use as well. A little bit of point cutting, making this transition more lighter, less contrast. Woo, coming out crispy. So now I'm going to use my thinning shears, my blending shears. Blending shears. As you can see, I have a half a moon taper fade. It's like a reversed taper fade. Now I need to check for dark spots and check for balance. So I finished the left side, back. Now same thing here, just make sure your guidelines will be on the same height. Same height. Otherwise, what's gonna happen? You're gonna have an inconsistent fade. So I'm already going to do his outline here. You can choose when you're going to do this. Shaver. So debulking now is coming up so good. We not, as you guys know, I don't use enhancements, and this is gonna look like I used enhancements. Toninho too, he don't like enhancements, right, Tony?
No, sir.
What is the reason?
Because it gives you a fake perspective of you being beautiful. As soon as you look beautiful at the barbershop, when you get home, take a shower, it's gone.
And the client can never replicate the same at home, right?
Nope.
Thank you for your feedback. 2, 1.5 open. The hair is growing backwards. I'm going against the grain. I start with 1.5 open, and now I'm about to be 100% closed. 100% closed. 1 open. One open. Halfway closed. Just be careful around this area here, because if you cut too much, it's gonna look like a burst fade. Half open. Closing my lever little by little, depending on how high I am with my guidelines. Zero open. Corners, always use a flat blade first, parallel with the skin, and then you start using corners after you debulk. Flat corners. The trick in all taper fades is make the center higher and lighter. So now I'm going to use my shears, making sure I'm going to even it out, the hair. So what I'm doing here, the hair that is falling and overlapping my hairline, just trimming, picking, connecting. Little by little, I'm finishing, cleaning, detail. You see, I use my guard here, and it's still dark. The reason why is because there's density here. A lots of hair in one spot, in one area of the head. So many barbers ask me why and how I do point cutting. The reason why is because I give the nice connection, the nice transition, a better blend with my fade, and also I'm adding some little texture. And how I do it, I groom the hair on its natural direction, the hair growth, and I go against the grain and point cutting. Just place my shears and slide the shears all over. I can go deep or I can stay low. So now I'm using my blending shears and just find dark spots and finishing out. So now I have my line, my guideline from the center, his forehead. What I'm going to do, I'm going to remove the long hair because he needs the hair to cover the receding area. I'm gonna go straight with my trimmers and I'm gonna stop right here. And then so look in here, I wanna make sure it's even. Using my straight razor, just making sure the hair is gonna be clean, the line is gonna be crisp. The easiest way to work with your lines and make them perfect is to make them perfect at first with the trimmers. So again, never let your client go with this dark line without being faded, even if he's not paying for the beard. What do you do? Just fade it and let him go, but never let him go like this. This is a treat. That's a combination. What you've done here, that's no good. You're leaving him, getting him out of the chair like this. So always just give him a little fade. And you're gonna look and you're gonna see how much is different after you fade it. So I start with a 1.5, like downwards like this, and up against the grain. One open, one closed. Now still working with the halfway closed, and half closed. Now 0. So here we go, guys. You saw me. You saw how I do high taper fade, nice and clean. As you can see here, very nice, very high. Lines are sharp, very clean. The transition areas where the guideline is. You saw the step by step. That's one way I do my taper fades. So multiple ways you're gonna see in this course. This is only one way. Hope you guys like, I hope you guys understand, follow the steps. That's how we work with a kinky hair. Let me break it down the step by step on the high taper fade. What I did, I mark in a diagonal back with my trimmers, half moon, you know, curved, my first guideline curved. I did trimmer and shaver after this, and then I debulk with the 2, and then I blended down from 2 to 0. The line is gone. And I did the same thing on the back, on the nape and the other side. Now in the new dreads, let me break it down for you guys too. I shampoo the hair twice and I apply a conditioner so the hair is gonna be a little smooth. And then I rinse it out, brought him here, dried it 100%, apply a little good amount of pomade. His hair is kind of very thick and coarse and it looks like it's dry, but it's just because it's thick. And that's why I apply something that's gonna give like a more like a silk finish, like silk gloss finish. Here we go, guys, the step by step. I broke it down in step for you guys. I think it's very easy haircut. So once you follow the step, when you see the process, it's very easy to understand. So I hope you guys like, and I'll see you in the next class here.